What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Engineers Without Filters podcast, episode 133. I'm your host, Jacob Thompson, and tonight I'm still on the Oberon I had last week. It's just so good. What more do I need to say about it? This is probably our favorite beer collectively that we've had on the podcast. Like thinking back to the entire run of show, this is what we've had the most that we talk about the most favorably. Mm-hmm. Dare I say it's the beer of the podcast.
Wow, so that's a bold statement.
I don't know.
Going out there.
That is a hot take.
When you did the 100 episode special, what was the most drank beer? It had to have been
I can pull up the data.
PBR, probably.
It had to be PBR. It had Gabe alone rated PBR.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think you can call it the podcast beer without consulting the other podcast members. I'm a little hurt.
I mean, we have a discussion right now. I would say it's the craft beer of the podcast, but
okay.
I think we might need to switch to craft and shit.
Gabe, I don't know if you remember, you did name your guinea pig after Oberon.
Yeah,
and the other one after PBR.
And PBR.
So yeah. it was Oberon and Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was a little bit both.
Okay.
I do really like Oberon. I was trying to give Jacob a bunch of shit.
Here's what I'll say: the craft beer of the podcast is Oberon. The shit beer of the podcast is PBR.
Yeah, by me alone.
Dayton has it, relatively frequently. At least he used to, and Joseph has it here and there. So.
I feel like Dayton's more of an old mud type of guy.
I do like old mud. I couldn't find any when I was back home. I tried to find some to bring back here to Connecticut, and I couldn't
like on
find
the plane. I guess in your luggage.
Yeah, I just in my luggage, but yeah, I couldn't find any of it. I could find
they don't have the pinup series anymore, so it's not the same box art.
But like they only had Milwaukee's Best. That's the closest thing I could find. And I was like, yeah, nah. So I ended up just bringing back a 6-pack of Tall Boys of Hams.
You not get hams out there?
No.
What the fuck?
Oh, man. Disappointment.
Dude, how haven't you moved yet?
Good question.
I just consulted the data from the first 100 episodes. High Life actually beat out PBR, which High Life is a very strong contender for shit beer of the podcast as well, so
that was pretty good.
I might have to go with High Life, honestly. Though Dayton doesn't really drink High Life, so
I enjoy High Life. I just never buy it.
Fuck it, I'm saying it's High Life. Take it or leave it. But anyway, right. Joseph, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking. So I was in Michigan last weekend, so I couldn't leave the state without picking up some Old Nation M43.
Nice.
Which, as Michiganders know, I did roll it and it exploded. So that was fun. But yeah, I couldn't in good faith leave Michigan without. I haven't had this in quite a while, so classic craft beer out of Southwest Michigan. So
I'll be honest, I thought you were going to say Tangerine Space Machine, but M43.
I do have that. I do have that upstairs as well.
Yeah, he had a haul. He sent me a picture of all the beer he got, and I'm like, hot damn, dude.
So I saw a variety pack from New Holland, which had Tangerine Space Machine, Little Piglet, which is like a session IPA, and then they had 2 lighter beers, and they were fine. I had the 2 lighter beers already, but so there's 3 of each. So I got plenty, and then I got some KBC as well.
Very nice.
Yikes. It's a lot.
It was a lot, but
you know what you gotta do though. Like
the Meyer and Escanaba came in clutch. I tell you what.
Yeah.
When I come to visit in October, Dayton, you cannot let me leave without getting Space Machine because I might forget, and that would be a damn shame.
I was gonna say we can go to Stein Night, but I'm not gonna be there over Wednesday. Neither are you.
No.
We can find some.
Yeah, we'll get some of that.
I'm sure you'll manage. All right, I'm Gabe, and I am drinking a Bell's Two Hearted classic beer left over from my camping trip. I get it every time I go camping. It's a great camping beer. It's a great beer.
Yeah.
Dayton, what was your haul? Because last week you said you got a lot of shit for your trip. What'd you come home with?
So, we didn't come home with nearly as much beer as we thought we were going to, aka we drank a lot. But I did salvage two of my favorite ones, which this is from a brewery just right across the river in New London. It's from Tox Brewing Company, and it is called EFT.
What?
I don't.
Just
That's it?
the letter?
Just letter F?
No, EFT.
Your
So it's-
pop filter is
Oh,
is it really?
trying to get
Yeah,
out.
Oh, okay. EFT.
Oh, F.
Eft.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
I
I
like
like
the
that
art.
can art.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, this is a fantastic beer. This honestly is probably close to M43 for me.
Damn.
Ooh,
Yeah, okay.
high praise. It
Okay.
looks good.
Yeah,
Quite the.
it's got very good
the
taste.
praise.
Well, there we go. We're all doing some good shit tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, welcome back to the podcast, everyone. As always, you can find our show on Mondays on YouTube, as well as podcast services. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at ewfpodcast, and please follow us on Twitch at ewf_podcast. We're live usually 2 days out of the week, Monday and Thursday. Gaming on Monday, podcast on Thursday. So if you want to come watch us live, check that out. But let's get into our weekly anecdotes. What I'm going to go with first because you two guys are out of town. Joseph, tell me about your trip.
Yeah, so I hiked the what is it, Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore last weekend with Alyssa. It was her first backpacking trip and my first time back there. See, I did part of it just before college. Like literally the August before. I think it was like 2 weekends before I moved up freshman year. So it was cool to be back there. It's beautiful. I mean, it's called Pictured Rocks, like for a reason. So it was cool. The trail is pretty mild. It's mostly flat, so it wasn't too taxing. But it was still fun. Met some interesting people. One of whom, so it was this group of three. They're from Ann Arbor, and I was like kind of talking, which is a pretty big college town in Michigan, right?
Mhm.
And I was talking. I was like, I just like kind of blatantly said like, oh yeah, just Southwest Michigan, like kind of Holland area, because small town, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No one really knows. People know of it, but like
Yeah.
if you're not from the area, you wouldn't. So I just kind of said, oh yeah, Holland kind of area. He's like, oh, that's cool. I actually work at a nuclear plant in that area, and I kind of looked at him. He goes, yeah, Palisades in South Haven, and I was like, wait a second. That's like 2 miles from my house. I used to swim in the exhaust water, like the
The warm
the
water.
cooling
That's
water.
safe.
They dump it into the lake.
No.
It's at the state park.
It's perfectly safe.
They-
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice
it's not.
nice and toasty
regulated.
from the.
Yeah, and I was like, that's like where the state park is. I go swimming there in the summers because it's always like 5 degrees warmer. And it was like, oh, that's so cool. And I was like, oh, so do you get into work? Do you drive past a blueberry farm? And he goes, yeah, I'm always kind of tempted to stop there. I'm like, you should. It's pretty good. I know the owners.
You didn't say it was your family?
No, I did. I was like, yeah, my family owns it. I
Okay.
grew up there. He goes, oh, that's so cool. And then he was asking me like, oh, what about this restaurant? Is this restaurant worth going to? What about this place? And so that was kind of fun. And then they were actually doing the same route. I mean, it's one route, but like breaking up the days roughly the same. So we ran into them a couple times throughout the trip, and actually we finished together. We like ended the trail at the same time. It was kind of, God damn it, Dayton.
I know, it's like, I'm like, I looked at Dayton, I'm like, do you also hear what Joseph just said? All right.
Damn
How did
I could see it in
Alyssa
his
like
eyes. But either way, it was fun.
How did
Oh
Alyssa
my
like it,
gosh.
Joseph?
She had a blast. Her feet were hurting her. So there were a couple times that we had to take it kind of slow, especially in like the afternoons. Our longest day was 14 and a half miles, which it was about as far as we did on Isle Royal. Granted, that day we hiked 14 and a half miles, we did way more elevation on Isle Royal than we did
Yeah.
in, at Pictured Rocks. But it was still fun, and yeah, her feet were bothering her, so wasn't too happy with that, but she pushed through, and so it was a good time. It rained a little bit, which was kind of annoying, as it was like it wasn't enough to like soak us through, like, soak your clothes through and your shoes and everything. So it was like, I just want to get to that point because once you're there, it doesn't get any worse.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it was never enough rain to do that. So it was like just miserable.
Yeah.
Like, is it stopping? Is it not? So that was kind of annoying. But that was only one of the days. So no, overall, it was good. It wouldn't be a camping trip with me if things were not forgotten. We left without the park permits, so we had to stop at a Office Depot to print out the permit. And what else? I forgot her breakfasts because we bought like a box of oatmeal and I put enough for me and we left and we were on the trail and I stopped and I was like, shit. And she goes, what? I was like, I was supposed to bring you oatmeal, wasn't I? And she goes, yes. And like, you know what? It's fine. I've got plenty of food. You can have the oatmeal. I'll make it work with, with my stuff. And it worked out because we bought stuff for breakfast the day before hiking, and we ended up buying too much food, so we had like muffins or something. It's like, whatever, I'll carry the muffins for the first day, have it in the morning, and be fine. So it ended up working out just fine. But there were a couple things where it's like, fuck. but it worked out.
Yeah,
we had a great time. Even before we finished the trail, she was like, I want to do this again. So that's always a good sign. It was type 2 fun enough that like it kind of sucked, but not so much that she wasn't hating it when we completed it. So
the time interval was very short for it to turn into type 2 fun.
Yeah. It was like while we're hiking, it's like this sucks. But then when we got to camp and we'd have dinner and like kind of hang around there, it's like, okay, I can see why you guys enjoy this. So
do you guys throw any rocks?
We did throw rocks.
Yes.
It would have been the first day actually. We made it to camp and it was like 2:00 and we're like,
that's
she's like, so now what do we do? And I said, I guess we're gonna go find some rocks to throw. I went that was the only good day for swimming. So it was a really cool beach. It was like kind of sandy, kind of rocky. So I went swimming and it was sunny and it was nice. So yeah, I hiked it in my Teva sandals, rather than in shoes. And I did socks and sandals just because I hit my feet against my like upper ankle, lower shin when I walk a lot. So to protect like my legs, I wore socks. But I got called a minimalist at one point. Like you're the sandal hiker, you're the minimalist. And I looked at him and goes, no, you should see what I've got in my pack. You should see my friend. All right, is all I'm saying.
It will never be enough.
Yeah. But I appreciate the compliment. So then I was like, I wonder if other people are like, well, we did pass a couple people that I saw like staring at my feet, like this guy's hiking in sandals. What the fuck?
You looked at him, you don't even know how deep this well goes, man. You haven't even scratched the surface.
I tell you what, though, as soon as I got back, I've already put a list together of my next gear upgrades to reduce weight. So I'm in the market for a quilt to replace my sleeping bag. Gonna get new tent stakes, because I got shitty ones. What else? I don't know, some other stuff. But yeah, I'm getting. Dayton's poisoned my mind.
Yes.
As he loves to do. Gabe, how was your last week?
It's pretty good. I went up to northern Minnesota to do our last bike trip. Tim and Nicole and myself. We went first day. It was super rainy, so I got to try out my brand new rain jacket. Worked pretty well, but it's very very different from the other places I've been. Cause it's like another old mining town, but this one felt very like southwest. The trails were very wide and very like, I don't know. There's one trail that wasn't even a trail. It's just like rocks. They're like go the other end, and then rocks. The Saturday, there's nothing to do in that fucking town besides bike. So it rained, and we literally like just hung out in the tent and played chess the first night while it rained. And then Tim and Nicole's tent flooded because they have an Ozark Trail and I have a Coleman's. So obviously I'm living a life of luxury. So, dude, Saturday was such a shitty day. I mean, you guys have seen my Snapchat story, but so we go riding again, and the weather's looking good. 8% chance of rain. Sun is out. It is beautiful. We see the trails with the sun out. The trails are super fun, and get to this one trail. It's like the Black Diamond, like crown jewel, if you will. There's not as much trail on this one because it's still developed. It's still becoming a trail system, so it's like the trail to go to. So we finally get to it, and I promptly eat shit hard, like very hard, to the point where I have a new helmet in the mail. Hard. My helmet has some dents in it, so I wasn't feeling great. I ate shit pretty good. I second guessed myself going over a hill and seeing something that I just didn't expect to see, and hit the brakes when I should have just rolled it.
Right.
So I limped back to the bottom of the run because it was like a downhill trail, and then they're like, "How you doing?" And my bike's just fucked at this point. Like the derailleur is bent to shit, so it's like picking whatever fucking gear it wants to. It'll go up or down. It won't listen to any of the buttons I'm pressing. And then my dropper cable was already a little frayed from a fall I had earlier in the year. Completely fucked. So then I couldn't even like sit. Like it was just like bobbing up and down because it couldn't hold pressure. And I was like, I just was immediately in a shitty mood. And it was pretty early, so I was like, whatever, I'll keep going. I don't have any symptoms of like a concussion, like I had a concussion in high school. I know what it's like.
I don't know if you should be the one assessing that, but
okay.
I didn't think I had a concussion either, Gabe.
Okay.
You were very adamant about not having a concussion too.
Those are good points. But I self-diagnosed myself. I'm like, I'm fine. Let's keep going. So we do a couple more trails, and then we realized just the way the system was set up is I would have to go down that trail again to get back. Like we were starting to get tired, and the fastest way was to go through the Black Diamond Trail that I ate shit on. I'm not pleased about this, but I'm like, face your fears, whatever, let's go. So I do fine, actually, the second time. I definitely took it slower, and like, after you fall, your confidence is definitely like shaken, and you're not as like, I don't know, you don't commit as much and go as fast. So I took my time, made it to the bottom. And then Nicole's pull off to the side, and I'm like, oh, she must see and shit. Great. She's like, oh, no, I got a flat tire. I'm like, okay, we'll figure it out. So pull off to the side. I have a hand pump that I bought when I got a flat in Duluth. Turns out the hand pump sucks and doesn't seal at all. And she has like little CO2 cartridges, which like are supposed to like, you inject it and it gets you enough, air or pressure to limp back to the trailhead. Right. So the first one just didn't work. And then we look up and that 8% chance of rain comes back. It's fucking thundering. We hear lightning.
Oh my God.
Like, oh no. And bringing back to a previous part of the story, Tim and Nicole's tent flooded, so they left the rain fly off to dry.
Oh my God.
It doesn't sound like the rainfly did much to begin with anyway, so
sure. But Nicole's got a flat, rain's coming, tent's open, so we're like, we gotta make some decisions here. So we give Tim the keys and we're like, you go to the campground, get the tent figured out, I'll help Nicole with her flat. And after like he leaves, 5 minutes later, fucking downpours, trees are bending like shit, like lightning, whatever, like it's just not a good time. And we're like ducked under a tree, like trying to like pump air with my shitty pump and get the CO2 cartridges to work. We finally got it enough so that we could like limp back to the trail, but I was like not having a good time because my bike was fucked, and she had a flat, it was rainy, and luckily Tim got back and the tent was dry and stuff. And then the next day, I like went in. I'm like, I need a new helmet. I need my derailleur hanger bent back because I just need that. and I want a new dropper cable. I'm like, this is gonna take a week to fix, but hopefully I can get it in early. So I get in like the moment they open. Dude was super cool. He was a Northern grad who just did it for fun on the weekends and did MET stuff in during the week. Super cool guy. Got me all fixed up, and I was like, okay, I'll buy a helmet. And they only had helmets without price tags. And they're Smiths, which are like, it's a nice brand. And I look them up, and I'm like, these are $130, $140 helmets. Like, my helmet was like $70.
Yeah.
So I did.
Worse. I thought you were going to say like 200.
No, but still, it's like double what I bought mine for. I'm like,
right.
I don't know. So I didn't buy a helmet. I should have. I totally should have, for like safety. If your helmet gets dented, you should stop and buy a new helmet. But that was the only shop open. It was a Sunday, and the next day was Labor Day. So we went to another place that was like more gravity fed, and that place was fucking awesome. You just had to basically climb up some dirt ass road and then do a bunch of downhill shit. But the downhill stuff was super fun. And I mean, all these trails are like the same company who did Copper Harbor and all these places in Minnesota. But these are the newer ones. These two places were built within the last 5 years. So these trails are just so fucking good. So fun.
What was the city again?
Chisholm and then Cohasset. The one is next to the inferior Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
Gotcha.
But yeah, besides the rough Saturday, everything else was super fun. The trails are great, but I'm glad to take a little bit of a break from biking and camping, especially like when it gets a little bit colder. Not that it was bad, but like I'm car camping, right? So I have like a shitty sleeping bag and a shitty tent. And I've been biking and going so much. It's like I just hit over 500 miles of single track in the summer, so pretty proud of that. But also I'm like getting a little burnout, so got my eyes towards something else.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you made it back in one piece.
Oh, you should see the bruise on my leg, dude. It's fucking brutal. Luckily, like it didn't really hit anything besides my helmet, like the rocks. Like my forehead and all that stuff are pretty fine. So just my legs.
When you're talking about your bike getting fucked up, I guess that's like the double-edged sword of you get like a nice hydraulic like dropper post, because if it breaks,
you lose hydraulics. Not just,
your seat's just fucked. It's not just like a simple thing where it's either it's on or it's off. But my stuff. Have any of you guys see Shang-Chi yet?
No.
Nope.
Oh my god.
I want to though.
Saw it on Friday with Leslie. It's so fucking good. Like I might go see it again at some point. It is absolutely amazing. Highly recommend.
That good, huh?
Yeah. No, it was like compared to Black Widow, which was like good, fine. It's so much more fun. Yeah, it's a great time. And then got the pleasure of finally meeting Lissa's boyfriend this weekend, which was very fun. But the highlight of the evening was I might have convinced him to start watching One Piece.
Nice.
That's just like your purpose. We were talking about that last week. Your purpose is convincing people to watch anime.
I know, and it wasn't even like come in hot, but it's what I was talking about. So Dayton was with his friend Justin last weekend, and all of a sudden on Saturday night, I get an Instagram notification that somebody just followed me, wants to send me a message. I'm like, oh, it's probably just spam. And it was Justin. I'm like, oh shit, what's up, man? And he had sent me some dumb shit because they were drunk by the fire. I'm like, all right, standard Dayton Justin bullshit
with the fucking lighter fluid.
Yeah, he was an absolute maniac. But then he messaged me again on Sunday, and he's like, "I'm anime curious. Can I get a recommendation?" I'm like, You came to the right person. This is my purpose in life right here. So I asked him some questions. We got it sorted out. Gave some recommendations. And then, so I was hanging out with Alyssa and her boyfriend, and he was just we're talking about Star Wars because that's his favorite series of all time. I was asking him why he liked it, and he was talking a lot about the world building stuff. And he was also mentioned like, oh, I might want to try anime at some point, and he just wants more, like a hobby that'll make him happy. So I'm like, I get that, dude. And I'm like, well, based on what you're telling me, what you like about Star Wars, I think you would like One Piece. And I might have sold him on it. So I mean, stay tuned. We'll see if I finally got someone. But
it was never a strict no from me.
I know. I'm still holding out hope for you, Dave. You got a list to get through first.
I do.
He might just hop in as his first anime, which I'm like, dude, fucking do it. But yeah, so that was fun. And then the other update, following up on a conversation from last week. So Gabe was trying to convince me and Dayton to start playing chess, and
Oh, right.
I was talking about how like I don't want to get into it because I know I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna have to learn all these other strategies and shit.
You play
And
chess now?
well, I'll tell you what happened. I downloaded the app and I'm like, okay, I'll maybe click on this somewhat this weekend. And I was bored on like Friday or Saturday, so I opened it up and I played a couple matches against a bot. I'm like, oh yeah, like it's coming back to me a little bit. And then I started playing online, and I'm just getting my shit kicked. Like it is bad. Like I'm getting absolutely destroyed. And long story short, I'm not playing anymore. I was not having a good time. I could like beat if I ever was beating someone, it ended up just being me chasing their king around the entire for like 10 turns, which is not fun. I never
Yeah.
felt like I was like implementing a strategy. I was just like either being fully on defense or I got like lucky and was taking a bunch of their pieces. Like I never felt like smart or, you know, decisive playing it. I always felt like I was getting got or tricked. And it was just not a good time. And I could put in the time to like study and learn and think, but I'm not. I don't want to. So Gabe, I'm sorry. I tried. It's not happening.
That's okay. That's
I'm
fair.
shutting down the doors on
I
it.
I don't play like random strangers. I've only been playing people at work, and I think that's been fun in its own for like the social part of it. Like, there's a couple people that I don't really talk to a whole lot, but now it's like, all right, I'll talk to you about chess. Like, he just walks by with a look on his face, like, what the fuck did you do? And I like open up the app. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I don't know, try to do it with you, it'd be more fun. But I was not having a good experience. I just felt very dumb and sad playing that game.
Ooh.
So but that's fine. Dayton, tell me about your trip.
Yeah, so like Gabe, I also went biking over Labor Day. I did not drive up into whatever those two towns were in Minneapolis or in Minnesota.
Chisholm and Cohasset.
Yes, sure, yes. I drove up to Vermont and I biked the Kingdom Trails, which is pretty much like renowned as like the best mountain biking in New England. Which I mean, I can vouch for that. It's really good mountain biking. There's a lot of climbing there, a lot of downhill, a lot of good single track. And then they also have like a bike park there, but I'm not like huge on bike parks, so we didn't hit any of those. But yeah, so first night or first day, we ended up biking like I don't know, like 25 miles or so, a little over 3,000 feet of climbing, which is a lot for mountain biking.
So much.
And then the second day we did like 15 miles and we did like 1,800 feet of climbing, which is still a good amount of climbing. Yeah, neither of us really crashed, which was good.
Nice. All right, rub it in.
I I did quite a few no brake runs, which is where I just like was like telling myself I'm not gonna hit the brakes for this entire downhill stretch. My Strava said I got going over 31 miles an hour, which is pretty badass.
Oh God.
Did you have your full face on for that?
No.
Oh my god, that's so fast.
When do you wear your full face? I'm not trying to call you out, but I know like you bought it after your accident. I have not seen you wear it. Or barely seen you wear it.
I will only do it when I am going out specifically to do stupid shit. Like for
No
example,
brakes doesn't count as stupid.
well, I didn't plan to do that. No, I am actually planning to go to a bike park up in up in Vermont in like 2 weeks with a friend from Michigan Tech actually that works at my company now. So I'm gonna bring my full face for that though. I'm thinking because we're gonna get lift tickets, so we're just gonna be doing the easy stuff and not the hard stuff. So
Dude, the easy stuff at bike parks is the hard stuff everywhere else. Like, I don't know. At least in my experience.
It'll be my first time going, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And then yeah, after that, came back, finished my most recent Spotify playlist script. So now I have a 50 random songs playlist, and it's pretty badass. I think Joseph agrees with me.
Yeah, I've been listening to it quite a bit. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, of course, it's my music taste, like, but it's
Yeah.
all over the place, a whole bunch of different genres. Um, and then yeah, I mean, other than that, I've just been running. Oh, and I got
Getting your
and I
miles
got
mowed
my
down.
company or my department's website up and running today, so that was pretty
Oh wow,
badass.
I'm surprised that it only took you a week.
Yeah, I mean, I had already like done like the bulk of it. I just had to get it onto their development server.
Squarespace.
That was the HTML shit he had to do.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Very nice. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well let's get into our topic tonight. We got a fun one coming from Gabe. Why don't you introduce it for us?
Yeah, this came up with this one at lunch today, as most of my topics come from. It's very late. We're like, I don't know, 4 months or 4 weeks, 5 weeks late. The Olympics happened, obviously. Finally, a year late. And I've always heard the question, if you had to be forced to do an Olympic sport, like you have like 4 years to train, what would you be best at? But I think that question's kind of boring. I asked him today, what was something that you think you would be like the absolute worst at? But like you have to try. Like you can't just be like, I quit, right? Because he was like, oh, I do like diving, but I wouldn't walk up the diving board. Like, no. You have to fucking do it.
You
The
have
only
to
way
jump
you get
off.
the only way you get disqualified is if like, I don't know, you crash or something, or like you break something and you cannot compete. But the question is, which Olympic sport would you be the absolute fucking worst at, and why?
All right, so we pulled up a list here. We have a reference. We're just doing summer first, and if we have time, we'll do winter as well. But we were talking about this briefly before the podcast, as Gabe told us about this topic. And my concern is, I'm like, honestly, how many of these sports can I do without getting hurt, injured, or killed? 'Cause that is on the table for some of these sports, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
Like,
I
I can
think
see myself straight up dying and trying to do some of these sports.
like what? What would you die on?
Let's see here. I was thinking more winter stuff, but let me rugby. I could take a pretty big hit in rugby, might die.
Die.
BMX racing,
That
possible.
looked fun as fuck. We
But
were
how
watching.
fucking funny would it be if everyone was in front and you're just like in the back, like
Yeah.
Wait, guys.
Surfing, possible. Get that undertow. I'm done.
Yeah, but you're tied to the board, so you just climb up to the board and you're fine.
Water polo could very easily drown. Skateboarding, that guy hit himself in the nuts. Could be a lot worse for me.
That was so
You know?
funny.
That was really good. I'm just saying, I'm getting injured, and I feel like in a solid 50% of these, I try to deal with Olympic level athletes right next to me.
For me, the answer is very simple. I think if I was told to swim, I would drown. Specifically, like the marathon style swimming. I'm not a strong swimmer. I never really learned how to like tread water. I can go forward and backwards fine, but like I never like learned to stay. So I guess I wouldn't be terrible, but I don't have good form, so I tire myself out super quick.
If it was the breaststroke, I could finish, but that's it. Any other stroke, I don't think I'm finishing that race.
Well, how far is the longest race for swimming?
Oh, there's some long asses.
I think it might be like one of the athlons, like
like marathon swimming right here.
Well, they do a triathlon, don't they?
Yeah, that would suck. I'd be so bad at that.
Be
I'd be
miserable.
so
It's not
gassed.
helpful.
Does
I'm gonna
not
look
tell
it up.
you like how far you have to go.
But I will say, if we're saying events we could actually like compete in, I would not be able to compete in diving. Like, I don't identify as someone who's like afraid of heights, but I would not be able to jump off that diving board. Straight up, it is so fucking high.
I think
Well,
you
it
could.
depends. There's different boards, aren't there? They're not all the same height.
Yeah,
you can
I
do
think
like
like
a
10 meters,
springboard.
the tall one.
I don't know if it's that high one. It's not happening. Maybe on a shorter one, but Jesus Christ.
What if you had to do like synchronized diving? Do you think you could do like a single flip synchronized?
Is it me and
No.
you, Gabe? Because that is not
You
happening.
do a synchronized cannonball.
I think we could flail together, like do the arms in the air
I
bullshit.
give you the pencil. I give you the pencil going down.
Oh,
Okay.
we could do a pencil for sure.
Yeah, okay, sorry. The marathon swimming is straight up a marathon. Like, it's 26 miles.
Oh my God, that's an
You
event.
swim 26 miles?
It has to be, well, okay, no, so marathon swimming is defined as has to be at least 10 kilometers.
That's 6 miles.
Yeah,
Which is 6 miles, but it could be longer. It's probably like what Dave was saying with ultra. As long as you can go over, and then everything's considered an ultra.
6 miles.
So far to swim.
That's
That
a lot.
is-
I would die. I would actually die.
Isn't it like you have to, comparing swimming to running, is it 3 times or 5 times the distance?
I don't. 3 sounds too short, honestly. Like if
I was gonna say
if
it's something like
if I think about how hard it is to run like a 5K, and then you're trying to tell me that that's like the equivalent difficulty of running 1 mile, like that doesn't add up. Like I think like running like 2 times around the track, or swimming 2 times around the track is about the same as running a 5K. That would make sense.
yeah.
I just don't know how you could do that without drowning. I mean, obviously people do it. It's just like
A lot of training.
You know, yeah, they're animals. So here's what I'll say. Here's how I'll make a rule. I want to know the worst sport you'd be at without getting disqualified for any reason. Like you finish, you don't break any rules,
okay.
and you're the worst.
So the question is, what's the worst that you can finish? Like
Right.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's gonna be the gymnastics uneven bars for me.
Could you
Because
finish that? Could you do a routine without getting DQ'd?
I'm just thinking, if you think about my wingspan plus my legs, there's no way I could, on either bar, do a full rotation without hitting those bars.
But what I'm getting at, I don't think you can finish that and not get DQ'd. I think you're gonna fall off the bar. I'm sure there's probably a time.
But does that result in a DQ?
I don't know the rules.
I think you just get a shitty score. I don't think you get DQ'd for falling off or anything.
Maybe you're right. I thought for some reason I was thinking like you have to be there for like a minute and a half or something like that. I have no idea. I'm just shooting.
Sit on top of the bar and swing around, do some pull-ups. Quote pull-ups.
I might go with weightlifting because I could put a number on the board. It's just guaranteed going to be the smallest number on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like you see those people, it's insane how much they lift.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because all these sports have different systems for winning or losing. Like water polo, like, yeah, I wouldn't get DQ, but our team's not going to score 1 point. Or like tennis, I wouldn't be able to score 1 point. So I don't know if that counts as like being able to do it.
Boxing would be bad.
That was the one. Might die.
Well, when do you think you would like make the biggest fool out of yourself doing? You know?
Oh, probably like Taekwondo.
I feel like
any of the gymnastics.
I feel like gymnastics or like the equestrian stuff, I would just look like a goof. Like I don't know how to control this fucking thing.
What about sailing though? Like I know that Joseph knows how to sail, but like
I know how to sail very small boats.
I know.
I don't know
what the wrong way.
Like, can you imagine getting on this boat and just being like, what do?
I wonder what size boats do they sail?
I don't know.
I think they're the ones that have the main like canoe looking thing, and then it's like an arm to a smaller little canoe with a big sail. You know what I'm talking about? Do you have this picture in your head? Because that's what I'm picturing.
A catamaran?
Is it considered a catamaran though? I think that might just be like a sponson off the side. I don't know if that's the right word.
Oh.
It's just a stabilizer.
Yeah. I'm curious.
Then I think the one I make the biggest fool of myself. I think gymnastics is very good, but I think skateboarding would be super cringe. Watching me skateboard would be so bad.
Especially if you like, especially if there's like someone going first, they're doing like crazy shit. Like next up, Jacob.
Because the entire thing would just be me like going and falling up and like, shit, get back on, or it's when you fall off the board, you used to launch it with your back foot across.
I imagine you doing like the awkward shuffle to go get your board like 10 times.
Do you guys know like the YouTube video? Have you seen the YouTube video where like some guy he's going to run and like jump on his skateboard?
Yeah,
and it's literally just him holding the board and just running for like 15 seconds straight, and he just like stops running.
Yeah.
That'd be me. But yeah, that'd be so bad. Chasing my board for 90% of that fucking event.
I would really want that to be mic'd up. Like I would want you to be mic'd up just so we could hear.
Just be swearing under my breath the entire time. Fuck.
Come on, Jacob.
How do you guys feel about sport climbing?
Oh, I wouldn't do good at that.
I bouldered once.
Yeah,
I mean-
I've climbed. I think I have a bad perception of sport climbing. When you're watching it, it looks like the rope is just pulling them up. That's how fast they're moving. So that's perception,
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna have some like upward pull, but I don't think that's the case. Unfortunately,
Have you
it's
seen
not.
this
Talking
speed
about-
climbing in that though?
Well, yeah, because there's 3 events to sport
Yeah.
climbing. There's speed climbing, bouldering, and the other one is like some weird shit. I forget what it's called.
I was thinking of speed climbing.
Free
They're moving-
climb. Shit.
It's not free climb because you hook the rope in as you go up.
Oh,
Lead.
Lead,
lead.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of speed climbing. That'd
Yeah,
be-
the speed climbing would be. I would be so bad.
I mean, I could probably do it.
maybe climbing's hard.
That's one I could I could probably complete the course.
Climbing might be the thing or the sport or whatever that looks so much easier than it actually is. Like the difference between how it looks to how it feels,
That's
it's
also
so
true.
vast.
Hmm. I don't know. I feel like skateboarding is kind of that way too. You see some of those people just do crazy shit like it's
Mhm.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck did you do that?
Athletes are insane. But yeah, I'm gonna say so. Final answer for sport, I could put something on the board but get last place. I'll go weightlifting. It's an easy answer, but I think I could, I could lift something. It'll just be the lowest than anyone else.
Is there any sport you think you could get like second to last in? Like there's
No, these are Olympic athletes, Gabe. There's no sport I'm getting second to last, unless one of you guys is there with me.
What if like we do synchronized swimming and we get second to last because the other ones just flopped like 3 times and we did a cannonball like perfectly?
Oh my god, Dayton, what are you thinking?
I don't know. There's a lot of these sports that I'm like actually dog water at. Like,
Hog water.
like just looking like like any of these artistic gymnastics, artistic swimming. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna say I think I would be better at gymnastics than I would be at baseball. I am actually awful at baseball.
At like the what part?
The whole thing, or
At
just hit it?
everything.
You can catch a ball.
Yeah, I can catch.
With
I
a
can
glove.
catch fine.
You can throw.
Not
I would
that
assume.
well. I can't throw that well. And
You were throwing rocks pretty good.
yeah, so maybe if I
It's just a bigger rock. You were also hitting the rocks with a piece of wood. What's the difference?
they
there?
weren't coming at me at 95 miles an hour. So honestly, I think that I could do better in every single one of these events that I can actually do right, because like I can't sail. I don't know how to sail.
Right.
I honestly think baseball, I would do terrible. I cannot hit a ball to save my life.
You think you'd be better at skateboarding than at baseball?
I really do think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm also dog shit at baseball, but I feel like I could field. If I was in right field, I could do, the bare minimum. Like
Also, like with those team sports, like
You
if
just
it's
be benched,
you could just be benched.
you still get a ring.
Yeah, you could be the bullpen catcher. I assume they have that on.
oh god, I would hate to be a catcher.
No, but like bullpen catcher,
Yeah.
you basically just warm up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if that's me and like the team's good, yeah, I could. Yeah, that's one thing where
I think even in baseball, even with zero skill, it's possible to still score a run because you could just get walked.
yes,
And then if you just don't swing, you pray you get walked, and then someone else in your team hits a home run, boom, you just got an RBI, baby, or they got an RBI and you scored a run. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I would even do well with 90 plus mile an hour balls flying at me.
I would be.
Like-
myself.
Like I know I used to be a soccer goalie, but a soccer ball is much different than a baseball.
It doesn't go
Baseballs-
90 miles an hour.
Baseballs will hurt a lot. Soccer balls don't really hurt that much.
Which sport would you guys be the most scared to do on this list?
I think judo would be pretty scary.
For me, it's rugby, hands down. That would be terrifying.
Rugby,
Water
you could
polo.
like
Water
why?
polo also terrifying. People are physical.
They
in
literally
water
will
polo.
hold
They,
you
like, hold you
underwater.
down.
Yeah. I don't fuck with that.
Boxing or judo? I feel like any of those like one-on-one, like I can't
would
hide.
be horrifying.
I can't hide in like the group, you know? Like I can't hide by the team. It's just me versus some like built, yoked motherfucker.
World-class athlete. You have to punch them? No, get me out of there.
I'll just run away. I'll just run away the entire match in boxing.
Dude,
I think it'd be okay.
They have better cardio than you do.
Yeah.
You're not gonna run away.
When like judo, like isn't there like if you step out of the ring, you get DQ'd or whatever? I don't know. That
Yeah,
shit
well,
works.
because if I remember correctly, judo's like all throws. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, do you want to get fucking yeeted? Because I
No.
don't.
Sounds better than knocked in the kisser, I tell you what.
I don't know. I feel like getting your whole body tossed would be not too
I
bad.
think it'd be more demoralizing. Boxing would hurt more.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, I'm not really experienced getting thrown or punched, so I can't really speak to that.
Boxing is a great way to get a concussion. I mean, maybe getting thrown too, but I feel like it's more direct because you actually get punched in the head.
The problem that fucks with me with boxing is people don't quit ever. They're not like, I'm done. It's like, no, you pass out, motherfucker. And then the game's over. And then you take a break and you might keep going. You know, like I don't get it. Like I don't think I have the mental strength to like go until I pass out.
You're telling me
really
back
don't.
in there?
I think I have a decent amount of mental strength, but if someone knocks me out and I like start to gain consciousness and someone's like staring at me like 7, 6, I'm sleeping. Like I'm done.
I mean, yeah, you can forfeit due to medical reasons. I'm pretty sure your team doctor can force you to forfeit if you get fucked up too bad.
And there's a point system to it too. It's not just
because you can get a TKO and stuff.
That means you survive though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't think I would survive
unscathed
against an Olympian.
But also, here's the thing: if you're going against an Olympic athlete, boxing, they know the rules super well. So they know, okay, if I do these 4 things, I'll get more points than them, and then I don't need to beat the shit out of some scrawny kid.
Beat the shit out of that guy for sure.
No, they won't.
Yeah,
this is an MMA. This is an MMA game. This is boxing.
Like, same weight class. You're dead.
They're gonna realize you have no skill and be like, okay, like, I'll get my points and move on to the next round.
I'm with Joseph on this one. They're not gonna intentionally inflict harm if it's clear you're not gonna fight back. Because I'm not fighting back, dude. I'm just holding my hands up the entire time and praying for the best.
Yeah, like, no, I. And if they do, they're just an asshole. Like, there's no way they
I would be willing to bet there's some asshole Olympians out there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm sure most of them are cool, but I'm sure some of them are like, I need more points.
But that doesn't even move them up. I don't think. I think it's just rounds. I guess I don't know enough about boxing. That's also the thing. I don't know enough about boxing.
We don't know a lot about this topic we're talking about tonight, but
yes,
that's on brand.
I feel like that's most topics, honestly.
I feel like fencing would be pretty fun. I mean, you'd lose so fast because they could be boom, chest, boom, head.
Like
you'd
flick
lose.
of the wrist, you're gone.
But I think it'd be fun to get out there and be like, ooh, like, can I do something?
you like parry one, you're like, ooh, ha.
I played Nidhogg. I would get my shit kicked in fencing so fast.
But like
it's not like it would hurt though.
No, it wouldn't hurt. It'd just be over in 2 seconds.
I think I could hold my own, and I could say do well, but I'm gonna say like not be completely embarrassed in badminton.
Oh yeah. Well, see, here's the thing, Joseph. You know how I talk about badminton. I feel like I'm pretty good. But when you watch Olympic badminton, the birdie is moving so fucking fast.
Yeah.
I don't have the reaction. If it was doubles, maybe I have a chance of hitting that thing. But they hit it so fucking fast.
But
I don't know.
There's so much I mean, you know, I've never seen it live, and that's a live and TV are, you know, very different things with depth and stuff. So I don't know. I've had people whip a birdie at me. I think but I wouldn't do too terrible.
You have to. The problem when you're at that level, you have to predict where it's going based on how their aim, like how their arm movement is.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Sorry, Joseph. I don't think you're gonna hit like a single birdie from these guys. They're gonna run you around that court, man. It's gonna. Be
I'll
pretty.
do better than boxing. I'll tell you that much.
I thought you were gonna say you had a shot at fencing. Because here's the thing, Joseph. With your reach, you might just be able to outreach them and just like stay away the entire time. I don't know. I'm sure they have moves to get in.
I feel
there
like
shit,
fencers aren't like exceptionally tall though. I think
Right.
they're just like they
They're
got the
more compact.
reaction time.
Fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, you're a bigger target, you know.
That's also true. Let's just pop into Winter Olympics here at the end because I'm gonna talk about some of these. Or there's way less than I thought there was. Way less this
There's
summer.
really not that many. Okay.
Okay, I feel like the four of us could put up an okay score in curling.
Dude, remember that one time we did curling?
Actually, I curled in New Zealand, and I was actually very good at it.
Dayton, were you there when we curled in college, or were you in New Zealand?
I was.
God, we got bored of curling, and we threw the game.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be different.
See, this was
We'd still lose. Don't be wrong. But we could put up like a fight.
Dude, I was the designated knocker outer. I was just in New Zealand. I was like pure chaos, and I would just knock everybody's out of there, clean house, and then they would lay us up perfectly.
So you just would like hit other rocks. So you threw rocks.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Just hit the rocks.
We're really finding out Dayton's skill set on this podcast.
Yeah,
it's very limited.
Yeah.
I mentioned this before the podcast started, but I don't want to do skeleton or luge. I honestly think if I do skeleton, I am dying on that course. Like you're going so fast, and I feel like a few mistakes, you're flying off, heads cracked or necks cracked, and it's game over.
I think there's a break on the sleds.
I'm sure they have safety mechanisms, Joseph. It's not going to work. It's somebody coming in as inexperienced as me. It's game over.
Okay, you hold the brake and just
coast down.
Just do.
Maybe, but
it's a downhill thing. It's not like you need momentum to keep going. It's on ice. Like, come on, you just enough to keep moving. You'll be fine.
I find luge and bobsled and skeleton the most interesting sports because I feel like they're more niche, and I don't understand how people practice them besides like Olympic training grounds, right?
Yeah.
And like, I think, like, don't get me wrong, there's definitely skill for it, and there's absolutely an Olympic level for these sports, but I feel like at some point, I mean, you could probably go down and be fine if you just like take it a little slow and just lean into the turns. Like, oh, I'm going right, man. And then you do it like 2 times and you know exactly what turns are coming up, you know?
Right. I think bobsled's the sport most people would say is there. Oh, if I was thrown in, I could do the best in bobsled. But it's probably like all these sports deceptively hard because we.
I would fuck the run up so bad.
Oh yeah,
like,
try not. That's such a good point, dude. I would trip my other teammates on accident.
They threw me in with like 3 other like Olympians, and they're like, "Yeah, just run up and then fold the arm in real quick." Like, no, there's no way.
Have you guys seen Cool Runnings?
No.
It's been a minute, Joseph. I haven't watched it since middle school, I think.
Because I love that movie, and it's about the Jamaican bobsled team.
Oh, it's a great time.
And yeah, that was a huge problem for them. Was the run up specifically because I mean they're Jamaicans. There's not a whole lot of ice in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. Like even in the United States,
the shoes are grippy though on ice. It's not like they're wearing slippers.
I think we would do the run up, Joseph, and I would like try to jump in and I'd hit my leg and I'd fall out the back. It'd be bad.
But you'd be like, hey guys, I need this just to go all the way down the course. That's all I need. Like, I'm sorry, but like that's all we need to do here. Just take it slow.
I can do it. I think the other one that I would absolutely shit myself in is the ski jump. I would. Oh. Could see my shit like come out of my ass midair. Like
that's easy death right there for me. Easy death. Are you kidding me?
Who was it? Eddie the Eagle was this walk-on guy from Britain that competed in the Olympics one year.
Yeah,
there was a movie. I watched that movie made about. I forgot what it's called. It's pretty good. It's Hugh Jackman and the guy from Kingsman played Eddie the Eagle.
Yeah.
It
can be done. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm saying if you put strap skis in me, which I'm a snowboarder. I've water skied. I've never like winter skied.
It's not like you're turning like, hey, on the ski jump.
Do a ski jump. You're in the Olympics tomorrow. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would die. All
you got to do is like kind of stand and then you kind of just land.
I think you should do it this winter.
Yeah.
Just find a ski jump and just do it.
Marquette. Marquette has a ski jump.
There you go. We're going there this winter.
All right.
Yeah, it's a big no for me.
The problem is I have a fear of heights, so.
Oh, interesting.
I do. Definitely fear of heights.
But you could ski jump if you didn't, right?
Probably.
I
did it on Wii Sports or with the Wii Fit.
Oh
There's
my
a ski
God.
jump
It was
thing.
Wii Resort, all right.
Whatever. It had the Wii Fit board. I did it. So what's the difference?
So you...
It's got to be the same thing, right?
I hate you.
You are like overly confident that you can beat Olympians.
I didn't say I could beat Olympians. I said I could do it.
I tell you what, though, I would love to try biathlon. That seems so fun. I mean, I know how to skate ski. Give me a gun, a 22. I'd love to give that a shot. That'd be a fun time.
Have you ever shot
Are they
a
22s? I thought they were just like pellet guns.
Maybe it is pellet guns.
Yeah,
I think they're just air rifles.
I've shot a shotgun one time, Gabe. That is it.
I haven't shot a gun yet.
It was terrifying.
Like a real gun.
But, God, trying to do their cross-country skiing courses, though. Dave, have you ever watched?
I have. They're nuts.
These guys are animals.
They're literally
animals.
V2 straight up these hills, and I'm like, bro, I can't even V2 on a downhill. Like,
it's V2 and double pulling, and that's it. Like, and these guys are just, and the thing, they're so close to each other, and they don't trip each other up. Like, it's insane.
For biathlon or just cross country skiing?
It's cross country skiing. It's somewhat like cycling. Like, how are you guys so close together and there's no crashes? And then there is a crash, but just in general.
Dude, cycling crashes are kind of fun to watch because
they're scary, man. They're scary.
Okay, they got helmets, Dayton. It's just cool.
You can still get fucked up.
Yeah, you can get messed up.
There's still chains and gears and not gravel, but asphalt.
It's all carbon fiber. It's fine.
I feel like if I tried speed skating, somehow something in my body's getting sliced open with those long skates.
I've never used speed skates, so I imagine it's got to be different than hockey skates.
I know they're way longer.
Yeah.
I know physically they're different.
And also, especially for you two, you need to know how to stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mean you can't just run into the boards?
I don't think so.
I was hockey stopping at the end of this last winter.
Dayton, the longer the skates are, the easier it is to pizza. I can just pizza on them.
Also true.
Might destroy the skates, but it's fine.
I feel like I'm realizing most these winter sports I'd be terrible at. The only decent one I would be at would be snowboarding, and that's because I know how to snowboard, but I wouldn't be able to do like half pipe or like they don't do slalom snowboarding.
Yeah.
It's not slalom, but they do a downhill race.
I could do that. I would be last, but like figure skating, dude, I would look so awkward. Like I would
just skate around. I just skate around, free skate, wave to people.
I would. My song would be a Tool song. I would.
You would make it longer than it needs to be. 12 minutes.
10-minute routine. 12-minute routine.
Here's what you do: you get a really hype song, right? And then you spend the first 3 minutes just going around trying to get the crowd super amped up. And then just go in the middle and just spin around in a circle.
What I would do is I would come out with a t-shirt cannon and a hot dog cannon, and I would shoot them off for 5 minutes, and that would be my entire routine.
Was that guy? Was he competing, or is he just a hype guy? Is he working for
the judges gave him a score, so I don't even know.
Is a hot dog gun exist, Gabe?
Yes,
oh yeah,
yeah. At the Grand Rapids Griffins, they have them.
How does that work?
Is
the hot dog? You put the hot dog in, you shoot it.
It's wrapped in it's wrapped in tinfoil.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you can't just put a raw dog in there.
It's only the hot dog, no bun.
They got a second one that shoots ketchup at it.
It's just meat. The ketchup hits it in the air.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever caught one?
No, I wish.
Because I imagine that dog is pretty it's not coming out unscathed. It's gonna be a little smushed up, and
I mean,
but it's a free hot dog.
But it's also free.
That's true.
Especially at like a hockey game where food is overpriced.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I would take a hot dog cannon over like a t-shirt cannon because you don't know what size you're gonna get, you know? Like,
Also true.
what if they're giving you the triple XL they're trying to get rid of, you know? And it was like 2 years old, you know? I don't
Yeah,
want
but you can
that.
still wear it if it's too big. It's like a sleep shirt or something.
I'd
I
rather
doubt
have
they're
the hot
shooting
dog.
out youth smalls.
You small.
How'd you know my
80
size?
onesies.
I would assume every t-shirt that's ever been shot out of a t-shirt can is at least XL. If I
You
had to
think?
guess.
I would
Yeah.
hope it would be like a medium or a large, like the most common sizes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think they would opt for this fits everyone as opposed to this fits most people.
I
feel
also
like-
think it's we have extras of the XL.
Yeah,
Also that.
that's
And
true.
like most people are buying a medium or a large, so they're not gonna shoot those away for free.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They shoot the shit ones. Maybe they shoot the shit dogs, you know? They're like
The ones that been dropped on the floor.
We picked them up from underneath the stove or the griddle.
These are literally from the garbage. It's like half eaten.
Well, if anybody's listening that's ever operated a t-shirt cannon and or a hot dog cannon, please write in and let us know what goes in those guns, because I want to know.
What do you mean, hot dogs and t-shirts?
But again, are they the good hot dogs, Gabe, or the bad hot dogs? What
Oh,
size
I
of
see.
t-shirts? I want the details.
See.
But yeah, that's our episode of the podcast this week. Thank you for listening. As always, you can find our show on YouTube and podcast services every Monday morning. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitch. But until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.